What's good, my lovely peoples? It's your main man Solace here, the humble wise one. Today's topic is Tupac. Was he real? And this is going to be a deep video and a very deep topic because a lot of people look up to Tupac and a lot of people love Tupac. So, it can be a touchy subject and Tupac's past. So it's a deep thing. But I want to do this video today, basically to weigh it on the balance and see if he truly measures up to what is real. Because sometimes we'll like a person and we'll just take everything and never measure a person's true deeds and just their psyche. So basically today I want to do this video discussing if Tupac was real. And this is mainly for the youth because a lot of the youth look up to Tupac. Now, before I go into this video, I want to be clear because I know Tupac is loved and I'm not here to take away from his love. So this video is not to make any of the youth or any of the adults hate Tupac or make you look at him different. That's not the purpose of this video. The purpose of this video is to basically see if he is real because people follow. And it's a deep thing we have to grasp. Now, when I say real, I don't want people to get lost because people can point their finger at anyone and say that person's fake, that person's not real, and so on and so forth. A person can point their finger at me and say I'm not real. But it's a deep thing I want y'all to grasp. When I say real, I mean real to the circumstances of life. Let me give you an example. Me, I'm from the streets, gang banging, selling drugs, and all of these things. Now, a person could come along and say, he not real, man, that nigga changed. But you have to grasp. When I say real, I mean in the perspective of, I was always real to my circumstances. So when I was in the streets selling drugs, slanging, banging, and all that, both of my parents was in jail. 17 years old, no parents. I have to take care of myself, so it's real. So I was real to my circumstances. So any gangster acts I did in the streets, it wasn't for me to look gangster. It was just my circumstances and I was desperate. So if I backed out a gun and backed a nigga down and took his shit, and I took his stuff, it wasn't for me to look gangster. It was literally because my parents is in jail and I don't have nobody. And it's real. So it's a deep thing we have to grasp. Some people are just real because that's their circumstances and they gonna make it do what it do. Now, though, that's no longer my circumstances. My parents are no longer in jail and I'm no longer a 17-year-old child. I have a child that's almost 17 now. So my perspective is different. And me being out there doing all the things I used to, that's not real to my circumstances now. So I'm always real to my circumstances. Me being free and being here for my children if they may need me and things of this is more important than street value stuff. So this is why I don't deal with that anymore because my circumstances ain't the same. So I just keep it real with my circumstances. And whatever I'm doing, I give it 100. So this is why I succeeded in the streets when I was up there because I was just real to myself. That was my real circumstances. You had other brothers out there selling dope, had both parents and all types of stuff, and they were just out there. But that wasn't the case for me. So if I was analyzing myself, I'd say I was real only because I know I was always true to my circumstances. I wasn't trying to fit in with what was going on. I was trying to make it through my circumstances. So it's a deep thing we have to grasp. Now, it may look all good when I'm out there and I got pockets full of money and everybody call me cheese and whatnot. It look good. But they not looking beneath the layers. His parents is in jail. I had a newborn daughter and just a whole lot at a young age. And, I did a lot of crazy things, but it was my circumstances. And it's a deep thing we have to grasp. But let's stay on the subject. Now, maybe one day I'll do a video about me. But that's later. Now, let's stick to the subject. Was Tupac real? Well, let's weigh up Tupac. Now, as of now, a lot of people look at Tupac as he was a gangster. He was a great rapper and just a man of many talents. He come from a revolutionary background, etc., etc. Now, I'm from the time of Tupac, so I was of age to know everything that was going on with him. A lot of the young people now, they hear about Tupac. But you have to understand the difference between hearing about him now and actually being around when he was alive. See, when you hear about him, you're hearing through how they view him now. So now that he's dead, he's great and everything about him is great. But when he was alive, that wasn't necessarily the case. So this is what I mean by the perspective will be different for those who wasn't here to witness him firsthand. Now, we all know Tupac comes from a revolutionary background. And he's from New York. But he comes from the Black Panther background. You know, revolutionary, basically conscious community. He would be in that category. A young brother had knowledge. This would be his upbringing. Then he got into rap. He was rapping. His raps had a little knowledge in it and whatnot. Regular New York kid doing his thing. Then he did the movie Juice. He started mingling and jangling. He started to change a little bit and started to get edgy and gangster. But you know, when people growing up from a kid, you start to come into yourself. So we're not judging him. He just changed a little. He started getting a little more edgy after the movie Juice. He started getting a little more gangster and roughhousing. But he wasn't like that prior. He was intellectual prior. Like a Fresh Prince almost, but just a little more rougher. But like a Fresh Prince, you know. He had I forgot what you call it when you speak good. You know I lose my train of thought sometimes. He was articulate. But he was like that. Then he started to change after Juice. Then he got into his legal problems or whatever and got arrested for rape. Now I don't want to go into his life story because everybody should know. But the thing we want to know is, was he real? Now, when Tupac got out of jail, he joined the Bloods or he was repping the Bloods. Now, we have to grasp, Tupac is from New York and he's from a revolutionary background. When he started repping the Bloods, he was a grown man. So you have to grasp, you have a grown man joining the gang. Now, if you remove the name Tupac and I just said, yo, this grown man joined the gang, you would say, that's some goofy. That's some goofy shit. Let's just keep it 100. If I say, yo, this man joined Blood, he a grown-ass man, nigga like 22, 23, just now joining the gang. You would say, oh, he goofy. Because you got to grasp, the gang shit is young shit. You join a gang young and you grow up in it. And then, you know, when you get to a certain age, you're not active no more. You what they would call an OG. But it's not something that people usually join when they're grown. It's just the weird things that happen in today's times. When I was coming up, nobody joined gangs when they were grown. You joined that when you was a kid. By the time you was grown, you like, I got responsibilities now. I don't got time for that. Now, a lot of people be grown in gangs, but like I said, they joined young. It's very weird for somebody to join as a grown-up. So we have to give him a check for that automatically. That is not real. I don't care how much you like him or whatever the case is. That is not real. Grown men joining gangs, that's weird. That's follower all over the place type of stuff. And you got to understand, when you dealing with the gangs in LA, and you hear nowadays the kids be like, oh, they rep this hood, that hood. They don't understand. When I was coming up, the gang name was the name of the street. So like Grape Street Crips. They lived on Grape Street. That was the name of the block. So that was why that was the name of the set. Then you know when the gang spread out to other cities, the gang wasn't the name of the street. So when I was coming up, I was a Blood. I was 9-Trey in it. But that wasn't the name of my block, 9-Trey. So you got to grasp. But when you dealing with LA, the name of they set be the actual street. So when a nigga say he from the hood, it It's deeper than just, oh, I'm down with the gang. They from the hood. That's why they say that. It's not, we look at it as slang. Oh, if you say you from the hood, then that means you from that gang. But back in the day when you said you was from that hood, you was from that gang, but you was from that hood. That's why you was from that gang. You can't be from over here and then you in this gang. So this is why a lot of gang members looked at Game, the rapper Game, as weird. Like, what the fuck? This nigga live in the Crip hood, but he banging Cedar Block. What the fuck? Because that's weird. Niggas usually bang they set, which is they block, wherever they live. So this is normal. You bang your block because that's where you live at. So it's a deep thing. Tupac coming from a whole nother state as a grown-up, joining gangs. And it's a deep thing y'all have to grasp. Now, was Tupac a gangster? I'd have to say absolutely not. And it's a deep thing you have to grasp because Ice-T said this once in a video. He said if Tupac truly believed that Biggie got him shot, why did he make a song? Why he didn't ride?
Which side are you on?